message this beautiful Sunday morning. Amen. Well, I sort of let the cat out of the bag. We're celebrating 3 birthdays, okay? And, whoops. Good, they survived. We have 70, okay, for obvious reasons. Not because I'm 70 today, but because the number 70 is used in the Bible 54 times. And if you add 7 in, it, according to the Greek, the Latin, and the Hebrew that I looked up, the number 7 for God is perfect. That's why Mickey Mantle wore number 7. And John Elway wore number 7, right? But the main reason 7 is perfect is because He created the earth and the birds and all that is in it, including you and me, in those 7 days of creation. Now, it was easy for me to find 70 in the Bible 4 times. And you can see in the scripture lessons that Mary Jane read and that I read, 70 is in there. And 7's in there. If you want to know which book of the Bible has more 7's than anything else, read Revelations. That has a lot of 7's in it, because it's the perfect number. Now, birthdays are supposed to be happy, right? Don't we say, happy birthday? How many of you, as you get older, does the happiness get less and less happy? Anybody? Good. Because this is the happiest birthday I've ever had. And you have to realize that 70 years ago, in the hospital, I was being born to Claire. Claire was worried that I wouldn't make it, okay? I was one of the first DES babies at University Hospital in Columbus. Dad was coaching and teaching at Ohio State. Mom's having a baby over at University Hospital. I almost didn't make it, okay? I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but she had 2 miscarriages before me. So I'm in there holding on for dear life. She didn't know that, but I was, trust me. Okay? So when I was born, Grandma Radefeld from Cleveland was worried about me. I don't know why. So she sent her minister down there and said, baptize him right away. I don't care. So I was baptized in the hospital. The only reason I'm sharing that is that obviously I made it and all was right with the world. You know, tonsils, kidney, here and there. No, I'm fine. Your Christian birthday is the day you were baptized. So my Christian birthday is July 2nd. Because they didn't know whether I was going to make it. And Grandma, that's as quick as the Lutheran minister could drive to Columbus. So you guys know when your Christian birthday is? You don't? Well, you should. When you were baptized, it's your Christian birthday. The only reason I'm saying we're celebrating 3 birthdays is because we're celebrating mine and Betty's. We're celebrating our country's 240 years of bravery and freedom so we could do this. And we're celebrating the church and all those people that are being baptized today because it's their birthday too. All right, let's quickly review. So, we're happy, right, Tom? I already told you, when you're 70 years old, that's 25,555 days, and now it's official. She had me, yeah, by 11:30, Columbus time. That's our time too, isn't it? I just threw that in there. You, when you get home, get a calculator out. How many in here, let's do it this way. How many of you are 1 to 10 years old? Raise your hand. Okay, we got a few. How many of you in here are 10 to 20 years old? Ooh, we got a couple. 10. Okay. How many of you are 30 to 40? How many 40 to 50-year-olds? Middle-age crisis, huh, Mark?
Yeah.
No? How many are 50 to 60? We don't have any 50 to 60. Oh. Yeah, she was doing the princess wave. And by the way, this is just extra info that you don't really need. You know who the two most famous people born on July 1st were, besides me? Princess Diana. That's my right side of my brain. And Tom Cruise. My left side of my brain. I'm just saying. Anyway, where was I? Yes, you have to remember that 70 is a really, really perfect number. And when I think about the days I've spent on this earth, the 25,000, it's worked out pretty well. The question is, what did you do with the number of years you have? Anybody here over 90? Anybody here between 80 and 90? You know who the most perfect person is in this whole church? I humbly say, it's anybody who is 77 years old. Two perfect numbers. Anybody 77? There he is. He's perfect, right? Marilyn, Sam's perfect? Good. Good answer. What are you doing with the time that God gave you? You know, I've only had 7 jobs. I started out as a camp counselor. It was the easiest job I ever got. I said, Mom, I want to be a counselor. She owned the camp. She said, sure, son. Then nobody wanted to do the camp, so I became camp director. Job number 2. Job number 3, I married Lorna because I couldn't wait any longer. We go to Valpo. I'm a dishwasher. Job number 3, yes. Those plates were hot coming off at Strongbow's Turkey Inn, U.S. Route 30. It's still there, best turkey I ever had. I used to eat the rolls that would come in if they weren't touched. Don't tell Lorna, because she was working at Miller's Mart. And, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of money. Where am I? Job number 4, Concordia, assistant professor of geography, basketball and baseball coach, Portland, Oregon. Loved it. But I didn't love it that much, so I became a salesman. Job number 5, I sold lots of stuff. Made lots of people rich. Not me, but lots of other people. 6, they said, why don't you be sales manager for the whole world? I said, okay. That was job number 6. Job number 7 is perfect. Number's perfect, and the job is perfect. There aren't going to be an 8th job, okay? Just wanted you to know. And the other thing is, you have got to be active with the blessings in time that God gives you. Don't waste it. There isn't anybody here who hasn't lost somebody that they missed, that didn't have a lot of years. I felt it the other day. I'm playing catch with Cabby and Sevy. My dad never got to play catch with his grandkids. Never! He would have loved it. He didn't get to play catch. Don't waste the time that God has given you on this earth. That's message number 1. Oh, and by the way, you can't have a birthday party without cakes. I have 70 of the finest cupcakes. Now, if there's 71 of you, sorry. I thought God would provide, you know, so we're pretty close to over 70. Anyway, you all get one.
Pastor, there's exactly 71.
There is? See how God works? And I'm the one, so I can't eat it. It's filled with it. Perfect. See? God's perfect. Folks, the first scripture lesson is a psalm, and it's David. And David is saying, you know, he's looking forward, but he's also kind of looking back. He says, I hope I make it to 70 or 80. Isn't that what it says? How many of you are 70 to 80 in here? We got a few, don't we? Yes, we do. He said, if you make it, it's based on your endurance. He says, you're going to have lots of troubles, lots of problems, lots of difficulties, but if you hang with God and keep the faith, you can make it and you can get through it. Cupcake number 1 is for people that have been around for 70 or 80 years and have overcome all sorts of challenges. God calls them tests. God tests you. And then you're stronger if you pass the test. If you flunk the test, all bets are off. Remember, countries get tested too, don't they? Families get tested, don't they? Individuals get tested. Communities get tested. I don't know. Who's 70 or 80? You're in there, Hope.
I am.
And you're a good cook, so tell me if they're good. They were made this morning at 6 a.m. Okay? You're welcome. It's for everybody, not just for King David. He ruled the Jewish people for 40 years. I don't know how old he was when he passed away, but probably somewhere between 70 and 80. The second scripture lesson is from Jeremiah, and Jeremiah gives us another important part of our years here on earth. And he is telling the story of the Jewish people. All right, let me see if I got any money. Corinne, you won't get this, but how many years, Tom, did the Jewish people stumble in the desert? 40. I'll give them $1 for that. How many years did God send the Jewish people to Babylon to be slaves because they were not worshiping God the proper way?
70?
He's the grandson. You were first, Bill. He needs the buck more than you do, Bill. I'm out of singles, so that means I'm out of questions. Folks, God is working in your life every day. You're blessed every day. You may not see the blessing, but because you're here, He has a plan and a purpose, and it's a good one. And you have to live that plan out. And if you're not, it's your fault, not God's fault. Don't blame Him. And that's why they were punished. For 70 years, they had to learn the lesson. What it's like not to be free. We're free to come to church or not come to church. We're free to go eat here, go eat there. Lots of people aren't free. 242 years we've been able to worship the way we want to worship. Or not. You know, you've heard the stats. We're getting less and less worshipers. More and more folks are like Israel. What happened to them? I don't think we'll ever be slaves to Mexico or Canada, but God can't be happy with empty pews, closing churches, unhappy pastors, etc., etc. Okay? How many cupcakes have I given out? Stingy grandpa. 70 years they didn't have any freedom. Before they said, God, we understand, thank you for teaching us. And then they went back to Israel. Has anybody ever destroyed them since then? What does the scripture lesson say? No, don't tell me. I think I can remember. I will punish Babylon for taking you for 70 years and being mean to you. You know what country is Babylon? And I think God says it's going to be deserted and crummy and filled with deserts and so forth. Hello, Iraq. That's Babylon, okay? Richard, do you like cupcakes? Help yourself. You help him, Daddy. The third scripture lesson is from Peter. Jesus gets the first gospel lesson. Peter is talking with Jesus. How many of you, if push came to shove, would say Peter's your favorite apostle? How many would say Paul? John? Anyway, I like Pete because he was always the one that Jesus used as an example to teach us lessons. Remember when he was walking on water? Jesus is walking on water and Peter's in the boat and he says, Peter, come on out, water's fine. He gets out into Lake Erie. He's walking. Jesus is saying, looking good, Pete. He looks down, boom, sinks to the bottom of Lake Erie. Why? He didn't have enough faith. He didn't stay focused on Christ. When you don't stay focused on Christ, you sink. Families, churches, communities. That's the lesson. Keep Christ in your vision and you won't sink as a church, as a person, or anything else. Okay? The other thing I like about Pete is when Jesus was crucified, the Roman soldier went up and said, Peter, haven't you been hanging with Jesus for 3 years? Peter said, no, I don't know him. I've never seen this guy. 3 times. My favorite number. He said, I don't know Jesus. Cock crows 3 times. What crow? Okay? You know what Peter's punishment was? When he was crucified, Peter said, I don't deserve to be crucified like Christ. He was one of a kind and special. If you're going to nail me to a cross, nail me upside down. Peter was crucified upside down. Who was the first pope? Peter. Where is Peter buried? St. Peter's Square. Where does the Pope give Easter? St. Peter's Square. Right above Peter. What's the third example of Peter and Jesus? This one in your bulletin. He says, you know, I'm having trouble with these other apostles and disciples. How many times should I forgive them? Anybody here have trouble with forgiveness? Let me repeat. Anybody in here have trouble with forgiving somebody that's done you wrong? Yes, I do. You know, in 49 years, I've only had to forgive her twice. She's surprised at those. She's forgiven me 977, because that's a perfect number. Life is like that sometimes. There's more forgiveness necessary from one to another. I just share that with you because that's what Peter wanted to know. He said, Jesus, before you go up to heaven and sit on the right hand of God, how many times should I forgive John? 7 times? Because that's your perfect number, Jesus. Jesus said, no, 7 times 70. Now, I know you mathematical geniuses have figured it out. 490 times. Does that mean when she's mean to me the 491st time, it'll never happen? But if she were, I don't have to forgive her? No. Anytime you get over 100 in the Bible, it's infinity. It's forever and ever. Never stop forgiving your brother or sister. In the church, in your family, or wherever you are. Cupcake, number 3. Brandon, you're looking a little peaked this morning. I think you could use a cupcake. You know, you're getting married, you got to get your strength up. Forgiveness is the third cupcake involving 7 times 70. And the last one, of course, is Jesus himself. And it's really for us. It's a cupcake for us because he is getting ready to go up into heaven and he's got to send some people out. What do I do at the end of the service? Go in peace, which passes all understanding. Go with confidence. Get out there. Go to Vermilion. Go to Huron. Go to Wakeman if you have to. No. Go to Oberlin. Go where you need to go to share his good news and let them know you are a Christian. Christian stands for Christ-like. Relationship building. In a few minutes we'll take communion. What do? I put Christ into you. What you do with Christ that's in you is your business. That's all I can tell you. And I know, what does he say there in the last scripture lesson? He sent out 70, 2 by 2. You want to know why the Jehovah's Witnesses go out 2 by 2? Because of this scripture lesson. And what does the Bible tell us? You go to somebody's house and you say, "Hi, Pastor Dick." And they say, slam the door. And I say, what Christ says, if they welcome you, they welcome me. If they don't, go to the next house. Dust off your sandals and go to the next house. Share the good news. Live the Christian life. Happy birthday, somebody, somewhere. Happy birthday, America. And happy birthday, Betty.